feels like the time is right for me to make an expression. Oh, I love you, I need you, I don't want to leave you guessing. So, will you be my friend? Will you stand by me till the end?
Hey y'all, welcome inside my real kitchen. Today we're doing something extra special for someone's birthday. That's right, I'm taking a break from my alternative baking practices to try out a rainbow cookie recipe. Now, I've had rainbow cookies once in my life, so this is the first time, but I'm following a Bon Appetit recipe, and with the help of the Sue pastry chef where I work, I think I've got the technique down. Ready to follow along? You coming along for this ride? Are you ready? Okay, first we're gonna go over all the ingredients, and then we're gonna go over the process, then we're gonna start. So we've got all of our ingredients mised out. That's right, it's my mise en place, everything in its place. And we have 2 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 12 ounces of almond paste broken up, 1 1/3 cups of sugar separated, 1/3 and 1 cup, and we've got 6 whole eggs separated, whites, yolks. What we're going to do first is mix our egg whites to stiff peaks with this 1 cup or 1/3 cup sugar. After that, we're going to transfer those egg whites out of a mixing bowl and chill them. And we're going to put the rest of the sugar and the almond paste into the mixing bowl and beat it until it's fluffy. After that, we will slowly incorporate our butter. Oh, that's not on my mise, it's in the fridge. It was getting really soft out here at room temperature, so I decided to throw it in the fridge. It's still pretty soft. Okay, so we're going to start by slowly incorporating our butter, and then our yolks and our flour. And then we're going to fold our egg whites into our cookie batter in 2 additions. Then we're going to dye the cookies. We're going to separate the batter into 3 bowls, and I'm going to make a Rasta cookie, Rasta rainbow. That's right. Okay, let's mix these babies. But the first thing that we have to do is whip our 6 egg whites and add 1/3 cup of sugar. Now, in order to do this, you start whipping with just the whites until they are soft peaks, which means they've foamed up to at least halfway in the bowl, but they're not stiff yet. And then you'll slowly add your sugar and it'll start to get shiny. And then you can increase the speed a little bit and really give it all that agitation, and it'll get beautifully stiff and shiny so that when you pull the whisk out, the point stands straight up. Here we go. Now that we've had a chance to get everything mixed, we're going to fold these 2 together. Now, I just want to take one quick step back and mention that the amount of butter that went into this batter was 2 cups or 1 pound, 16 ounces. And the reason that we chilled these egg whites is because the eggs are the only leavener in this entire cookie, and keeping the egg whites chilled will help them not to deflate. So, I'm going to fold these 2 together in here. Folding is one of my favorite processes. It's really nice. Now, this is a much thicker batter than I have folded. So that means you have to use a little bit more muscle, and you just have to hope that your egg whites don't deflate and you still get that nice volume when these cookies bake. But it is really important to incorporate your egg whites all the way. And speaking of baking, I've got my oven preheated to 350 degrees, and I've got a baking pan or a sheet pan lined with tin foil and buttered. Now normally this would be 3 quarter sheet pans, but I'm gonna use 1 sheet pan and lay out the 3 different dyed sections separately and just sort of cut them apart when it's done baking. Okay, let's get on to the folding. Yay, everything's all folded together. And the batter seems really nice and light. It's time to divide and die. So we're just going to divide this evenly into 3 bowls. I like to do a little bit at a time and really make sure that I get it even. If I were at work or something, I'd weigh this out. So I got it exact so that all the layers would be exactly the same thickness, no question. But in here, inside my real kitchen, we can eyeball whatever we want. It's a little bit difficult when the bowls are all different sizes, but I think I got this. And this is our cooking sheet, fully lined with 3 separate pieces of aluminum foil, and we've got overhang on all sides so that we can easily lift our sections out of the pan. Okay, red dye in here. We want to make them really nice and bright. Gold dye in here, or yellow. And green dye right here. Red to be darker. These just look like plain rainbow cookies to me. I've seen them before with the yellow. Although this recipe called to leave this section white, so it would look more like an Italian flag, I believe. So I'm gonna stop calling them Rasta because this is just a beautiful pastel palette here. But these are ready to go in the oven. Remember, preheated to 350 degrees, and now they're gonna go in for 9 to 11 minutes, rotating halfway through and coming out when they are set. These shouldn't get any color. So when they're set, just meaning they're firm and not jiggly or squishing down. And then we let them cool. And when we build up the cookie, well, that's when the fun starts. Our rainbow cookies are done cooking. Now this took 22 minutes for me, so either that means that the recipe was saying 9 to 11 minutes, then rotate and do another 9 to 11 minutes, or my batter is twice as thick as the batter that's baked in the recipe, because I didn't have the quarter sheet pans. I put them all in one pan. Mine are 3rd sheet pans. But here we go, beautiful baked cookies. And now we have to let them cool. After these cool completely, then we get to separate the sections and start assembling them. And that requires some melted chocolate and raspberry jam. Now these cookies actually get compressed either overnight or for about 4 hours before they're fully covered in chocolate and ready to serve. So we'll see if I've got time to assemble this tonight. Otherwise, I might do it super early tomorrow morning before I head to work. And that way they can compress all day or overnight until I'm ready to come home and cover them with chocolate and bring them to the very special birthday boy at his birthday barbecue party. and our rainbow cookies have been compressed and are ready to be trimmed and dressed. Now, looks like I messed up on the colors, because when I went to work today, they were actually doing this exact process to a batch of cookies that was made yesterday. And I guess the yellow's supposed to be in the middle. The yellow's supposed to be in the middle for the Rasta too. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know where I thought the yellow went, except I thought the yellow went on the bottom. Anyway, I'm a rainbow cookie noob, so mistakes can be made. Let's get trimming here. We want to make sure that all the ends are even and all the colors are exposed. this is the side where the yellow came out over it a little bit. You can still see the yellow down here. So I'm gonna have to go a little deeper. It's tough with the chocolate on the bottom, getting these cookies to come up. I need a spatula. This is my scrap section. Okay, much better. There we go. Color's all exposed. My cutting was not perfectly straight. Oh, that's a little bit drastic. Oh well. Don't you worry, these scraps are not really scraps. Now this side. This side has the extra pink. Still a little bit of extra pink. Just chocolate up here. My scrap bowl's not big enough. Just have a little bit more to take off on this side to get the green properly exposed. Yeah, there we go, that's better. Look at this rainbow. I think now's as good a time as any to taste it. Get a little bit of that chocolate in there. Yum. They're good. Okay. Now we get to cover the top with more chocolate. Might be too much actually. No, it's just the right amount. Let's use the spatula here. Alright, now it's got its chocolate on it, and we're just going to do a nice little crisscrossy pattern with a fork. And then it's got to chill in the freezer for a little while. Just about 10 minutes, and then it can come out and we can cut it. Try not to get it any dripping over the edge here, but it's okay if you do. It's okay if I do, is what I mean. And now we're just going to go back the other direction. Ooh, we're pulling across some crumbs, so that's not good. Ooh, but some of it looks really good. That's pretty good for a first time, okay? Even though I'm just drawing lines in chocolate, I should be able to do that. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, I'll just cover it up with a little chocolate here. Ooh. I'm pulling up crumbs, I don't like that. Okay. I think that's it, problem solved. Great. Okay. I'm gonna let this set a little bit before I put any more fork lines in it. Relax and enjoy the process of the cooking. Thank you for watching this episode on rainbow cookies. See you next time. Well, after I chill these, I'm going to cut them into like little, maybe half an inch by an inch, maybe a little bigger cookies. I'll take a picture after I chill them and cut them, and you can see it coming up next.